The three-peat challenge is complete. After back-to-back 5A state titles, Barbe makes it 3 in a row here in 2016.
Well, normally this weekend we'd be fighting for a state championship.
And the unthinkable has happened. Houghton, the number 31 seed, has pulled off a miraculous upset. For the first time in decades, Barbe is eliminated in the first round.
You know, it didn't work out this year. First time in 20 years we got eliminated in the first round. So Raissa and I decided to go to Vegas and see the boys play. First time that they've ever played against one another.
They're gonna set my soul, gonna set my soul on fire. Got a whole lot of money that's ready to burn, so get those stakes up higher. There's 1,000 pretty women waiting out there. They're all living the devil may care, and I'm just a devil with love to spare. So viva Las Vegas! Viva Las Vegas! Las Vegas!
4P Challenge is presented by Lake Charles area Chevy dealers. Also brought to you by Sonic, Johnny's Pizza House, Casio Sports Medicine, Cox, Philo, Camel, and Wilson.
Folks in Southwest Louisiana demand a dependable truck, and the Chevy Silverado is the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size truck on the road over the last 30 years. Plus, the 2017 J.D. Power Dependability Study confirms Chevrolet is the #1 domestic brand with full-size trucks, while Ford and Ram are dead last. So for the most dependable full-size truck, check out the 2017 Chevy Silverado today at your Lake Charles area Chevy dealers.
Jim and Will Cox founded the Cox Law Firm in 1969 at the height of the Civil Rights Movement.
Their core beliefs were serving our community and treating their clients like family.
47 years later, we're still a family-run business and still committed to those values.
We live here, we're raising our families here.
And when we're successful, it's not just our clients who receive justice.
It's our entire community.
Awesome, man. Every shake half price after 8?
Yeah, man, even this ice cream slush. It's so cool. Looks like a lot of people got the memo.
Why didn't I get one? Oh, is it because I don't have one of them fancy printer phones?
A fax machine?
I don't know, man. I can't keep up with this technology.
TJ, you have a smartphone.
Yeah, and I use it every day, and it hasn't made me any smarter.
But that's a cherry stem. Cherry stem.
And my straw's broken.
Did you get the memo? Shakes and new ice cream slushes are half price after 8 p.m. This is how you Sonic.
My oldest son, Garren, played at Barbe from 2007 to 2010. He won a state championship in 2008, his sophomore year. Garren is in the top 5 of most offensive categories at Barbe, has the most stolen bases all time at Barbe. He was a dominating player. He signed a baseball scholarship to go to LSU, and he got drafted at the end of his senior year. He had a career-ending high school injury his senior year in the 14th game. And we thought, hey, he's definitely going to go to college, but he still got drafted by the Red Sox in the 4th round and got first-round money and decided to pursue his lifelong dream of being a Major League Baseball player. He loved the Red Sox organization. He moved up quickly. He was an all-star his first 3 years, and then in 2014, at 23 years old, he got brought up. and he also started the final 7 games for the Boston Red Sox. It was really cool. After that, they signed some high-profile guys. They didn't protect him on the 40-man roster. The Milwaukee Brewers picked him up, put him on their 40-man roster, played 1 year with them, which was last year, hit 272. This year, he got picked up by the Kansas City Royals, and he's hitting, I think, close to 260 right now.
I'm just grateful for each day, and I truly am. And just when you have a mindset of it's a privilege to play and you're not made to play, I think that mindset is it's a privilege to play baseball, because you could be in a lot of other situations, a lot worse situations. So no matter what you're doing, no matter how bad you're doing, or if you're 0 for 10, it's a privilege to play this game, and you're grateful. And if you have that mindset, then I think at the end of the day, the results are going to be where you want them to be. But if you concentrate on, I got to do this or I got to do that, that's not the mindset you kind of have to bring. So just grateful that I'm getting to put a uniform every day. The Royals is a great organization. I mean, they've won championships, have a lot of history, great coaching staff, very professional, good farm system. So, I mean, it looks like outside looking in, and I've been in now. I mean, it seems like a good organization, so I'm just grateful for the opportunity. They want me to play third, but I mean, versatility is good, so I can play other positions. It's going to give the manager options where he could put me. We'll see where it goes. I mean, they were one of the teams that called and offered me a contract. Seemed like a good fit for me, and unfortunately, it didn't happen with the Brewers. Still had a good season, so just glad to be here. It all happens for a reason. I think this game's more mental than it is physical. You just need to accepting, fail. I don't know if accepting is the right word, but accepting that this game is a lot of failure and you're going to go through it. It just depends on what time of the season you're going through it. And I think it's just really trying to focus on making my mental game as strong as possible.
Garren's major league debut was pretty cool. We're in Savannah, Georgia watching Gavin, and we get the call.
He goes, hey, I just want to let you know I'm getting called up to big leagues. I go, you've got to be kidding. I said, I'm so fired up.
We jump on a plane out of Savannah and we make it there for the game. There's a 1 o'clock game. We got to go out on the field and see him. It was unbelievably cool. When
I saw Garren, I gave him a hug. I mean, it was one of the happiest days of our lives. This is his lifelong dream since he's been a little kid. And here he is. He's in the big leagues at Fenway Park.
Glenn told Garren that you're going to get a double off that green monster.
He goes, Dad, you're always so positive. I'm not even going to get in the game. Pedroia's okay. His wrist is not broken. I'm not going to get in.
Well, Pedroia gets kicked out the game, and Garren gets to go in.
And there goes Garren to the field. I'll never forget it. I said, oh my gosh, he's in the game. This is awesome. He gets up and he hits a ball right off the top of the green monster, just like I said. And it was so surreal. His agent was right next to me. I go, he did just hit a ball off the green monster. I'm going, just fired up, man. My heart was beating. And I mean, I've been in 9 state championship games in front of 40,000 people in Osaka, Japan to win a gold medal. And my heart's never beat like it was beating that day.
My brother means so much to me. Throughout my whole career, he's always been there for me whenever I need him, and the advice he gives me is always great. All the leagues that I've played in, he has played there before me, so I think that it's always been a good thing for me and an advantage for me because he's kind of, been there and done that, and, he teaches me the right way to do things and to stay away from the wrong ones. But he's been a huge, valuable asset to me in my career, and I can't thank him enough.
There's a handful of brothers that have played against each other, and it's few and far between, and I keep bringing up the same word, special, grateful. I mean, it's pretty cool because not many people have 2 brothers that are playing professional baseball.
4P Challenge thanks to friends of Barbe Baseball, Lakeside Bank, the way banking should be, and Twisted Vines Lawn and Landscaping.
I'm Brett Cassio, a board-certified orthopedic sports medicine specialist. I could tell you all about my training at Duke University and Johns Hopkins Hospital, or my experience with the Baltimore Orioles. But what people ask me the most is how I would treat my own family if they were injured. And what I tell them is, I would treat your family the way I would treat my own. Not every surgeon is board-certified and fellowship-trained in sports medicine. Training and experience matter.
Folks in Southwest Louisiana demand a dependable truck, and the Chevy Silverado is the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size truck on the road over the last 30 years. Plus, the 2017 J.D. Power Dependability Study confirms Chevrolet is the #1 domestic brand with full-size trucks, while Ford and Ram are dead last. So for the most dependable full-size truck, check out the 2017 Chevy Silverado today at your Lake Charles area Chevy dealers.
For 50 years, Johnny's Pizza House has called you our neighbors and shared in those moments. We are looking forward to 50 more.
When we think of a personal injury, most of us think about an accident caused by the negligence of another.
But not every injury will show up on an X-ray.
Some are caused by damages and losses to a business or personal finances.
But they can be just as devastating as bodily injuries.
No matter how you've been injured, our team at Cox, Philo, Camel & Wilson will take the time to know you and your case.
It's important to us because it matters to you.
My youngest son, Gavin Cecchini, played at Barbe from 2009 to 2012. He played 2 years with his older brother, Garren. He's in the top 5 of nearly every offensive category at Barbe. He's all-time leader in doubles until Bo Jordan broke that. He still has a single-season record of 24 doubles. Gavin was a 2-time Gatorade Player of the Year. He was named Mr. Baseball, first-round draft pick by the Mets in 2012. 12th pick. So he was the highest drafted kid of any player ever to come out of Louisiana in high school. He started off, played real well defensively, solid, consistent, he was like 270 career hitter. And then when he got to AA, where it really gets tougher, Gavin hit 317, was an all-star, was player of the year in their organization. And then in AAA last year, he hit 325, got brought up to the big leagues, was 2 for 6 in the big leagues, hit 2 doubles off the wall. So he's doing really well.
One thing about me is I'm always going to have confidence in myself regardless of the things that happen or numbers. That stuff really doesn't faze me because I know the type of player that I am, and as far as a mindset, I'm just going to keep going out there and working hard because I can't control whether I get called up or who gets called up or sent down or whatever that is. I can only keep proving myself and showing them that I deserve to be in the big leagues, and sooner or later, I'll be there helping the Mets win. It's a great opportunity for players to have, that talent all around you. It definitely can't hurt. Obviously Frank Viola was a Cy Young winner, and Tim Tuffle, he played many years in the big leagues and had a great career. So having those guys around, and also my teammates that also played in the big leagues, it's a great time for players like myself, young players, to soak up the knowledge and get all the knowledge that you can to help you become, the player that you're destined to be.
He's a fun-loving guy and loves to work hard, so he's easy to work with. A couple things we're working on is footwork around the bag. On the double play turns, trying to get his right foot a little more active, a little more ahead of the game. Instead of catching it and then throwing it, kind of have that active prior to him catching the ball. So just trying to get him a little more athletic and a little more rhythmic at second base. It's all a timing mechanism. You have to kind of count the steps and count the time and get rid of the balls because the guy's bearing down on you. So it's a little bit different. It's a tough position to move over from short to second, so he's learning it. He's learning it pretty fast. Well, his hitting, he's always hit, so he's hit at every level. He's a front foot hitter. I think Jack Voigt, the hitting coach, can talk more on that, but from what I see, he's a line drive, gap to gap type hitter and occasional pop. So, he's working on his game right now, and he's trying to hit the ball in the middle of the field, which is a good thing for young hitters, and I think he's going to work off of that very well.
I think that he is getting better and better. He was a first-round draft choice, a lot of expectations on the kid. He's had a little trouble defensively, especially when he first got started at shortstop, but it never affected his hitting. It never affected his attitude. I think inside, if you asked him, it probably bothered him a little bit, but outwardly, he didn't show it very much. Very strong-willed kid, very confident kid, in a good sense, nothing beyond that. But I think once they made the move over to second base, especially going into this year, defensively, he's like a different ball player. I think that what he did was He put himself on the map with 29 other major league clubs. If he doesn't get up to the Mets, to be able to be seen and know that he can not only handle second base, but he can handle second base with anybody. You know, a lot of guys would have shied away from that, but Gavin went full force into it. He worked on it, and he's really a heck of a second baseman.
The toughest thing from moving from short to second is whenever you're at shortstop, everything is happening in front of you, whereas when you're at second and you have a double play, the runner is behind you, towards your back. So that's the biggest adjustment that I've had to make, because my whole life I've been playing on the left side of the infield, and I can see everything in front of me, whereas now the first baseman's towards my back, the runner's towards my back. So just getting a feel of different movements at second base, different arm angles and feeds that I have to give and take. That's the biggest adjustment that I've had to make. For putting the bat down, it's so I'm measuring off at the plate to know where I am in the box, you know, every single time. As far as what I do in the box, it's just something that I've picked up over time, and something that makes me comfortable, and something that I don't know when I picked it up, but for all that I can remember is I've been doing it for a while. Before each game in the dugout, I like to have a little pregame ritual with my teammates. I have a handshake with all the starting players. We go through our pregame ritual and just have a little bit of fun with it. Me and Rosario have actually like 3 or 4 handshakes that we do throughout the game. One to start the game, one to end the game, one if we turn a good double play and stuff like that. But it's just all different things that we just kind of come up with, and we're like, oh, this sounds good, or that looks good. No, let's add this, and we're always tweaking it. I have one with Tyrone and the left fielder. We kind of clap twice like this, and then show our bicep and point to the bicep. And another one, Jeff Glenn with the catcher, we slap hands again and do a little selfie and say, wow, look at that home run we just hit. We kind of just like a little getting ready for the game and get your mind ready for the game.
The thing that I love most about him is he's a hilarious kid on and off the field. He's just laid back, just love hanging out with him. But when he gets on the field, he's all business. And there's a fine line there. A lot of guys can't make the difference between, and he's able to do that. So I look, long term, I look to see him being in the big leagues for 10, 15 years and doing a great job.
I'm Brett Cassio, a board-certified orthopedic sports medicine specialist. I could tell you all about my training at Duke University and Johns Hopkins Hospital, or my experience with the Baltimore Orioles. But what people ask me the most is how I would treat my own family if they were injured. And what I tell them is, I would treat your family the way I would treat my own. Not every surgeon is board certified and fellowship trained in sports medicine. Training and experience matter.
Folks in Southwest Louisiana demand a dependable truck, and the Chevy Silverado is the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size truck on the road over the last 30 years. Plus, the 2017 J.D. Power Dependability Study confirms Chevrolet is the #1 domestic brand with full-size trucks, while Ford and Ram are dead last. So for the most dependable full-size truck, check out the 2017 Chevy Silverado today at your Lake Charles area Chevy dealers.
Jim and Will Cox founded the Cox Law Firm in 1969 at the height of the Civil Rights Movement.
Their core beliefs were serving our community and treating their clients like family.
47 years later, we're still a family-run business and still committed to those values.
We live here, we're raising our families here.
And when we're successful, it's not just our clients who receive justice.
It's our entire community.
Awesome, man. Every shake half price after 8?
Yeah, man, even this ice cream slush? It's so cool. Looks like a lot of people got the memo.
Why didn't I get one? Oh, is it because I don't have one of them fancy printer phones?
A fax machine?
I don't know, man. I can't keep up with this technology.
TJ, you have a smartphone.
Yeah, and I use it every day, and it hasn't made me any smarter.
But that's a cherry stem. Cherry stem.
And my straw's broken.
Did you get the memo? Shakes and new ice cream slushes are half price after 8 p.m. This is how you Sonic.
Not many people can say that, two brothers have played against each other in the same league at a professional level. So I think it's a great experience and a great opportunity for the both of us, and something that we'll remember forever.
I think it's special. I mean, not many people, there's only a select few that have gotten to do it, and it's pretty special. I think you can name a few families on the top of your hand, but that's about it, and I just think it's really special that the whole family gets to see this.
I mean, it's a blessing that to have two sons, for us to have two sons that are playing professional baseball and at the second highest level in the world, which is AAA, it's amazing. I mean, they're just that close to the big leagues.
I think it's awesome. You know, the last time they played together was when they were in high school. So it's cool to see them both out on the field at the same time. It's a dream come true. I mean, the only other thing that I wish could happen is they played on the same team. It'd make it easier for Glenn and I to be able to see them more, but, you know, it's pretty awesome. Both of them, I think, are doing well. They're swinging it well. Just had some tough luck. Gavin's hitting the ball, putting it in play, but it's just going right to people. Garren's actually had some really good games as of late when he's gotten to play. Their swings look great. That's why I tell them every time, your swing looks great. Just get a pitch you can hammer and get after it. Well, anytime your kids can be successful and to get to this, I mean, this is one level under the big leagues. And for them to be able to do what they do and do what they love, it's incredible. Yeah, we've played a lot of baseball to get to here. We're excited for them to fulfill their dreams. Glenn and I are just so proud of them, and we know that they know that too.
The thing about being a part of this family and watching the boys grow up, being their aunt, I was always super supportive of them, and they came out all the time, and it was always about the baseball. It was always about, I'd be like, we're gonna go do this. Nope, we gotta go do batting practice first, and it was always giving up all the stuff, and I always made a joke. I'm like, you guys better get in the big leagues. What we're giving up and sacrificing, you better get in. So when they got in, it was just, I mean, I never had any doubt. I knew that they would make it. They're unbelievable guys. The dedication's amazing on both their ends. So I was really excited, but not shocked at all. Glenn and I have always been extremely close. I'd say out of the four of us, I used to always pal around with Glenn. He would take me when he'd do batting practice with his friends because I'd go chase the balls. He's always been really motivational, very supportive, very fun, super outgoing. Everybody's liked him ever since he was a kid. He just has a way of making you feel comfortable and has a really good time. He's an all-around great guy. Since I'm 7 years younger than him, all I can remember is baseball. We went to the field, we'd sit there for hours. Ballparks were always nonstop. I mean, he's been dedicated ever since he was young, and we've followed him and been a support for him. So it's been baseball, baseball, baseball all along.
Hey, Bucks are #1, 3-peat, baby. Give God the glory.
4-Peat Challenge is presented by Lake Charles area Chevy dealers. Also brought to you by Sonic, Johnny's Pizza House, Casio Sports Medicine, Cox, Philo, Camel, and Wilson.
When we think of a personal injury, most of us think about an accident caused by the negligence of another.
But not every injury will show up on an X-ray.
Some are caused by damages and losses to a business or personal finances.
But they can be just as devastating as bodily injuries.
No matter how you've been injured, our team at Cox, Philo, Camel, and Wilson will take the time to know you and your case.
It's important to us because it matters to you.
For 50 years, Johnny's Pizza House has called you our neighbors and shared in those moments. We are looking forward to 50 more.
Folks in Southwest Louisiana demand a dependable truck, and the Chevy Silverado is the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size truck on the road over the last 30 years. Plus, the 2017 J.D. Power Dependability Study confirms Chevrolet is the #1 domestic brand with full-size trucks, while Ford and Ram are dead last. So for the most dependable full-size truck, check out the 2017 Chevy Silverado today at your Lake Charles area Chevy dealers.
For 50 years, Johnny's Pizza House has called you our neighbors and shared in those moments. We are looking forward to 50 more.
Now, as far as that brotherly love head-to-head series itself, it got off to a slow start on Thursday. Garren was not in Omaha's starting lineup and spent the night in the first base coach's box. That's where he had a front row view of Gavin making some great defensive plays, including a beautiful bare hand grab and quick toss to first that was just a hair late, according to the first base ump. No debating this one, 6-4-3, that's a double play, and it would end a Storm Chasers rally in the 8th. The success in the field didn't translate at the plate. An 0-for-5 night for Gavin, and it was Omaha taking game 1 of the 4-game set 5-1. Game 2 on Friday, and for the first time in their professional careers, both brothers in the starting lineup facing each other. And what a night this would be. More great defense by Gavin, showing off that extra practice on the footwork at second base for a perfectly timed 4-3 double play. Then, things got real interesting. Garren's first ever at-bat with his little bro playing second base, and you just knew this was coming. Cecchini to Cecchini. Gavin gets a little chuckle out of the play, but you know what they say about paybacks. Gavin's next at-bat. Yep, a bullet to Big Bro, who snares the liner to end the inning. And this time, it's Garren who's all smiles. Cecchini to Cecchini for a second time, but not the last. The play of the night took place on Gavin's next at-bat. Still looking for his first hit of the series, Gavin rockets a shot down the third base line, and look at Garren make the diving stop, an unbelievable play to rob Gavin of extra bases.
I smoke another one to him, and he'll tell you too, he makes this play probably 1 out of 1,000 times. And he just pulls his play out of his butt and throws it in the dirt to the first baseman, and the first baseman picks it. And I ran down the line, and I take a few steps past the bag, and I look back at him, and I go, what are you doing? And I was just like, you know what, man, that's unbelievable.
Safe to say this was Big Brother's night. 3 RBIs in the game, including this 2-run single in the 8th. And Omaha takes a 2-0 lead in the series, beating Las Vegas 8-3.
He was unlucky tonight. I mean, I don't ever want to take hits away from my brother or anyone, but at least my brother. And he hit the ball really hard today. It's just like, it's a game of baseball, man. It's failure. It's tough sometimes. So it's going to be a tough dinner tonight.
Dinner that night with them, I did not go to dinner with them. That's how dinner was.
Omaha also won on Saturday, 7-3, setting up Game 4, which, oh, by the way, was on Mother's Day. And yes, Raissa was there to watch her boys. And how's this for a present? 3 hits from both Garren and Gavin. A combined 6 for 9 for the Suns, 2 RBIs, 3 runs scored, and a double.
Mother's Day was awesome. How many mothers can actually say that they had 2 sons play against each other in AAA baseball and get 3 hits apiece?
You know, my parents were in attendance, and it was just unbelievable to have an unbelievable game like that in front of my parents, and especially my mom on Mother's Day. And after that, we went and had a nice steak at Morton's Steakhouse and had some wine, and it was an awesome day. So it was a day that I'll never forget.
Overall, in this 4-game brotherly love head-to-head series, it was Gavin and Garren both playing some great defense. Garren, the hot bat, hitting .600 and a clean 4-game sweep for Omaha.
Not only for us, it's for them. They put in a lot of time and hours and money trying to develop us into the players that we are today. And this is special for them just to watch us on the same field. So it's just definitely a great mother's gift for my mom.
We can't thank our parents enough for what they've done for us, and we wouldn't be in the position that we are now without the both of them.
Gonna set my soul on fire. Got a whole lot of money that's ready to burn, so get those stakes up higher. There's 1,000 pretty women waiting out there. They're all living the devil may care, and I am just a devil with love to spare. So viva Las Vegas! Viva Las Vegas! Viva! Las Vegas!
Hey, Viva Las Vegas, right?
Huh?
Viva Las Vegas.